Hey Cactus friends, it's Jenny from Cookies Cacti. I thought I would do a quick video on troubleshooting problems with cactus, and in this case it's desiccation that I can't explain. So I bought a couple of Strombocactus disciformis probably 2 or 3 months ago during the summertime. When I purchased them, they were very healthy plants. They were in these, I don't know if these are like 3-inch pots or 2.5-inch pots. They looked really good. But for some reason, ever since they came into my care, they just kept desiccating despite being watered, and I didn't understand why. And you know, when we notice that something's a little off with the plants, I think our instincts as plant keepers is usually not wrong. There is something going on. So I have 2 of these pots of Strombocactus, and one of them I just took out, and as I was doing that I was like, ooh, maybe I should capture this on camera. So you can see, this is what I was observing. You can see that? Now this taproot here, when I squeezed this part of it, is quite firm, but up here, I don't know if you can see it, but there is squish to it. And you can see the body of the plant is shrunken. There are these little roots, and they look okay. So here's my suspicion. I still have the other one potted up. It's in a soil mix that's quite light, and so when I pick it up I can feel how light it is, and it had this decomposed granite as the top dressing. So I'm going to remove the decomposed granite, just dumping it into a bucket. And then when I took the whole root ball out, I have a suspicion on what's going on. This soil medium is like super hard and solid. Maybe this soil has not been taking up water, and I have a suspicion that that's what's happened. This plant is in slightly better condition than the other one, but it's also desiccating because when I squeeze the body of the plant, it's got obvious give. So these are gorgeous plants. These are the only 2 Strombocactus that I have in my little plant family. But I have a feeling this is what's going on. This soil, you see how it's like a little bit corky? But I don't feel like, it doesn't feel like peat moss. It just feels like some sort of, cactus mix possibly. It's got, I think, perlite in it. Is it perlite or pumice? It's perlite. You see how it just crumbles? You see, it's perlite. And my suspicion is, the soil is not taking up water. So what I'm going to do, I should have done this a long time ago when I first noticed that something was a little off. Take off the soil. I'm going to repot it into my adult soil mix, which is just 3 parts pumice to 1 part unigrow cactus mix right now. I do often think that when you buy plants from a nursery or from a grower or wherever, and if it comes potted, you should check what that soil consists of. If it's from a grower that uses a soil mix that you're fairly familiar with and you kind of know it to a degree, then maybe it's fine. But especially when you buy from a grower or a nursery or any seller that you're not familiar with, it's best to take a look at what the soil looks like and possibly, put it into something that you know. I've had other instances where I've purchased plants from somebody else or somewhere else, and I water it just like I do the rest of my plants, and then the plant ends up rotting because it was planted in a soil medium that was more organic than what I'm usually used to. As you can see, removed most of the soil. Those roots are kind of sticking out, so it'll be easy to touch the new soil. I'm going to put these in. Let me go pick something to put it in. What about this pot? Small, perfect size for these 2, I think. This pot was a gift to me from Jeff, who is a CACSS member. His Instagram is Clay Runner, and I'll put the information below. It's a really, really nice pot. I like how simple it is. It's got this wonderful neutral color that will just go with everything. And I think the size of this is perfect for these 2 plants. Now, troubleshooting is kind of an open-ended question, right? I'm suspecting that this is what's wrong, that the soil is not taking up water, but I don't know if I'm correct or not. So I'm going to repot these into this pot, give it the soil that I know, and then we'll have to check back later to see if it does any better. Do keep in mind right now that it is December 29th as I make this video, so we are in the middle of winter, although it is quite warm in the Phoenix area. I am going to repot this into slightly damp soil. This is probably not the best season to be showing results because it's winter. I have my huge tub of adult soil mix here. Put a little bit of water. Many of you are very familiar with this setup. Sorry about my neighbor's dog. I think that's a very cute bark. Okay, it's just ever slightly damp. Let me put a little screen at the bottom. I have lots and lots of little window screens sitting everywhere. I'll put a light layer of soil on the bottom of the pot. Oops. Gosh, this old soil is so hard. It's not just falling apart, you know. I hope these guys are going to be okay with this repot. We're still in like the 60s and 70s for our highs, and our lows are in the 40s now overnight. I'm expecting that it will get colder once January arrives, which is just like a few days away. I believe Strombocactus disciformis are very slow growing. Very, very slow growing. I've tried growing them from seed kind of near when I just began growing from seed. Their seeds are so tiny and none of the seedlings survived. I'm just not growing them correctly. Maybe stick a rock here. Do I have a rock? I do have it. Is that big enough? This is probably too big. I don't have too many rocks just lying around. Maybe I'll put these two here just for fun. Okay, maybe I'll fill this up with some top dressing first. So just to be a little bit more conservative, I've filled up the soil just to cover the fine roots. The tap roots I'm not going to surround, with soil. So it's actually, not a very deep amount of soil in here. We'll just do it for now and see how it goes. Just a little bit more of an insurance policy on my tendency to overwater. See, I've got decomposed granite, and I also have this rock. What do you think about this? That looks kind of cool. It kind of blends in with the pot. This is this rock that I've harvested or saved from nursery pots when repotting. I can see now. Does it fit? Oh yeah, like that maybe. Put this here. So maybe more of the point of this video is when you see something is kind of off with your plant, don't ignore it. It usually, I think, you'll be right. Because if something doesn't seem right with the plant, then something's definitely wrong. It's worth checking the roots, checking the soil, checking, in other instances, maybe it's pests. I guess that's the message. And then troubleshoot, if you can. So finding an answer may not be that straightforward. And sometimes it just takes time and experience to understand what is wrong and then what to do about it. And I am nowhere even near that level of expertise. I'm still learning. Even this, just guessing. But that desiccation, something's not right. What do you think? Gorgeous plants, huh? The color, the shape, the way that the center spines with that tuft of fur is just beautiful. Thank you to Jeff at Clay Runner for gifting me this pot. I think it's perfect. Looks like two eyes and a mouth, huh? And some hair here. That's hilarious. I won't be able to unsee that, and neither will you. Maybe if I do this. Oh gosh, this looks even more like a mouth here and a little thing of hair. Oh, that's so funny. We will not be able to unsee that. Alright, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this little quick repotting of these Strombocactus disciformis, and that this whole repotting was prompted by noticing that something was wrong with the plants and the idea of troubleshooting and to trust your instincts when something seems off. It probably is. Cookie, what do you think about your newly potted plants? It's your Strombocactus disciformis. Oh. Do you think that something was wrong, too? You're so wise. Cookie, you like it? Cookie's cacti. A solid 2 months has passed since we did the repotting on these two Strombocactus disciformis. It is now early March 2025 as I record this part of the video, and you can see that the two plants are still alive. The one on the right has really plumped up. It's looking really good. The one on the left is doing fine. It still has some signs of desiccation. This is the one that was more desiccated of the two from the first part of the video. But I would say, because I am editing the first part of the video as we speak, and when I look back on that footage, this one is doing better than it was before. So I think that our guess during the troubleshooting that the desiccation may have been caused by that soil that it was sitting in. I think it's correct. Now, do keep in mind again, you know, it's still winter. I have been watering these, I would say very roughly about once a month, because this winter, as I've mentioned in other videos, has just been extremely dry. Normally I would rely on just the winter rains to take care of the watering, but there was almost none this year. So I have been hand watering, although I am hand watering lightly, so not like real deep soaks, just some light waters, and I think it's working. And we still cannot unsee the face. So I think the troubleshooting this time was successful. Just wanted to give you a little 2-month update, just in case you were wondering, well, were we on the right track or not? I think we were. So until next time, happy growing, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.